Welcome to our wild ride to Highborn Key, where the only thing more unpredictable than the weather is our plumbing. From clogged toilets to a broken propeller, we've mastered the art of fixing chaos in paradise. Who knew a week in the Bahamas could feel like a patchwork episode of Survivor, Boating Edition? After a bumpy night at Junkanoo Beach on the west side of New Providence Island, we made our way over to Montague Bay on the east side. We passed by Atlantis Paradise Resort, which sits just across the harbor from the bustling cruise ship docks. After motoring around to find the perfect spot, we finally dropped anchor on the east side of Montague Bay. We felt a huge sense of relief as we settled in, especially since we knew a few stormy days were ahead. That's why we had stopped at Nassau. We have an electric-headed macerator. The first night at anchor, Dave pushed the button on the head to flush the toilet, and nothing happened. We blew a fuse. But why did the fuse blow? We disassembled the macerator, only to discover that the impeller was stuck. Since buying the boat, we have used Barnacle Buster, which helps prevent buildup. However, there were years of lime buildup inside the housing. It took several hours to completely disassemble the macerator, clean all the parts, and reassemble everything. All the while, the boat was rocking due to stormy weather and high winds. Alright, anchor alarm went off for about 30 seconds, then it stopped, so it appears that it dragged and then it dug itself in. We are in Montague Bay, and we have gusts recorded as high as 43, so Dave and I are in standby mode. Shoes on, jacket on, ready to deploy and do whatever needs to be done. We decided to move over to the south side of Atoll Island, since the winds were now coming from the north. Dave went to pull up the anchor, but when I engaged the throttle, nothing happened. Dave thought I wasn't giving it enough gas, but ladies, don't hesitate to tell your partner if you feel something is wrong. Dave realized I was right, and after checking things above the waterline, he decided to jump in and check the propeller. Problem solved. The propeller was missing. Dave dove down, but didn't see it buried in the sand, so we took the dinghy out. We used the map from the anchor alarm to establish a search radius for our lost propeller. Amazingly, after several diving attempts and 3 separate locations, Dave found it buried, barely poking out from the sand. You think the hard part is over? Not quite. Dave took the propeller apart and cleaned it. Then he had to create a new shear key from a piece of brass bar stock he found at a chandlery in Nassau. We love our folding propeller, but here's the twist. Installing it means diving underwater. Picture this, reassembling it onto the shaft while the boat is in the water. We considered hauling out, but Dave thought he can do it himself. Honestly, it's hard enough to install while on the hard, and Dave didn't even have his diving equipment. Warning, I would not suggest anyone to try this themselves. I was a wreck every time Dave went under and would bang on the side of the hull once I counted to 100 and he wasn't up. It was stressful. The propeller is now installed, and we're thrilled to have a good weather window for our adventure to the Exumas, so we set off the very next day. As we exited around the north side of Atoll Island, we couldn't help but admire the beautiful resorts, eagerly looking forward to our arrival in the Exumas. We had left early in the morning and were motor sailing at 40 degrees, going about 5.5 knots while enjoying a relaxing sail. Three and a half hours southeast of Nassau, sailing to Highborn Key. We are sailing between the yellow and the white banks. We have about 14 knots of wind at 40 degrees, 5.3 knots. Weather is beautiful. There were clouds in the sky earlier, and they have all disappeared. And that water is just the most amazing turquoise at 20 feet deep. beautiful day for a sail. Finally. We have the main of the jib all the way out on a port side tack. We've seen a few sailboats go out before us this morning, a few trawlers, and a catamaran going back into Nassau. Guess their vacation is over. I love these windows when they're open. Down below, because I'm short, you can see outside. That's the port side, and then the starboard tack. And that's the starboard side. It's nice little perspective for me. They're very low, they're right above head height on the settee. So the other windows, which I cannot see out of the description. Not sure if you can make out Highborn Key, but it's about 6 miles out. I've been seeing it for a while, but of course, as always seems to be the case, the wind is coming right from the direction that we want to go, regardless as to what the weather models predict. So it's been a long, beautiful sail, but it looks like we're going to be getting in at night. The sun is setting, but it should be an easy anchorage at Highborn Key to get into, and we'll anchor out a bit tonight, anchor light. We shouldn't be in the way of anybody coming in or any channel, and then move in closer if we want tomorrow. Beautiful day in the Bahamas. Yay, we're finally here at Highborn Key in the northern Exumas. Make sure to watch our short about the new anchoring restrictions since we were in Nassau. I'll include it in the description below. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already. We hope you'll join us in the next video as we set sail to Bell Island and, believe it or not, enjoy some hiking.